Hey guys, Pichu here, and today we're going to be setting up the lineups for the Clash that will kick off the Pichu London Cup Series season, our final season in the PLCS Offline League, not the mock league that we're running concurrently with the real Cup Series drivers in their respective rides, but this is the final season of the offline series that has Enter Town 3 drivers, fictitious drivers, taking the spots of the Cup Series in their respective teams, of Cup Series drivers in their respective teams. So this is the 45th and final season of the offline PLCS, and we're going to kick it off with the Clash. Don't think I've ever done the Clash before in the PLCS. I think I've done the Speed Weeks at Daytona, I think about one or two seasons before that, previously, like from way back when. I think I did the Speed Weeks with the duels in Daytona, and I think I did the Clash there too at Daytona, maybe once or twice. But I'm bringing the Clash back for the final season, just the Clash, but it will not be in Daytona. It will actually be in Riverhead Raceway. Riverhead Raceway is a short track in New York, in Long Island, in New York, and I've always wanted to have a race weekend in Riverhead Raceway, so I'm gonna finally host a race weekend at Riverhead, and that's where the Clash will be for season 45. And I know it's not the LA Coliseum, but there are other similar tracks out there that could mimic the LA Coliseum, but I've decided instead to host the Clash in Riverhead Raceway. Some of you might have heard of that track, the short track that is one of the NASCAR home tracks, that race the modifieds in that, and one of the tracks that is hosting modified events. So we're going to be hosting the PLCS Clash over there. So that's where it's going to be, at Riverhead Raceway. Everything, all of it. The heat races, LC, the last chance races, and the main feature. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and that's going to be a great. That's how the PLCS final season will kick off for the offline universe. So anyway, this is your roster for season 45, in case if you don't already know if you have gotten a ride or not. For those who have gotten a ride in the final season, congratulations, you're in the series, going to be competing for a championship full time, and you'll see some other part-time drivers, some familiar names you'll know from past seasons of the series. They'll be running in several part-time events throughout the season, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Most of them are former champions from the series, of reflecting all the 45 season history of the league and celebrating the longevity of the PLCS that has run over 10, going on 11 years now. And again, this is the final season for the PLCS in terms of the offline universe. We'll continue to run the mock universe that has the real Cup drivers and their real teams and all real tracks and full distance events. But I'm going to be running the PLCS offline season. This is the final one, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, it's time to reveal which drivers will compete in which heats. We will have 4 heat events to determine qualifying for the Clash, because the track is so small it's not going to fit all drivers at once. So we're going to split up all the drivers, and they'll be in their respective heats. There'll be 4 heat events. So 9 drivers, I believe, are going to be in each heat. The top 5 from each of the heat events will advance to the main feature. And the rest of the drivers that didn't qualify through the heats will have to qualify through the last chance races. And there'll be 2 last chance events. And the top 3 from each last chance events will be advancing to the main feature, and that makes up 26 drivers that will be competing in the Clash. I am going to be reserving an extra spot, one more spot, for the driver that finished highest in the points last season that did not make it through the heat races and last chance races. So the rookies, the only way they can get in is if they finish in the top 5 in their heat race, or if they finish in the top 3 in their LCQ race. Otherwise, they will have no other option to qualify into the main feature. Those are the only 2 options, but for veterans that competed in last season of the series, in the previous season, they will have a third chance to qualify for the Clash in Riverhead Raceway. Try not to say Riverside, but that's a completely different track in a other part of the U.S., but it's in Riverhead Raceway. So the veterans, I'm going to reserve one more spot, a provisional, so to speak, for the driver highest in points from last season that didn't qualify into through last chance races or the heat races. Anyway, without further ado, it's time to generate and see who goes into which heat. We're going to go in the order of their number, starting with Richard Morphy in the number 1. And he will be in heat race number 2. So Morphy will be competing in the second heat race. By the way, qualifying will be random, so the starting lineups will be completely random for each of the heat races, just to keep things more interesting and to have as much of a balanced playing field as possible. So every heat race is going to be randomized in qualifying, completely random, like we always do in many of our other events in the season. Qualifying is random. It's random who will take the pole, completely random. So Richard Morphy is going to be in heat number 2. He may not get the pole. Again, qualifying is random for each heat race, but for the LCQs, they're in the order of where they finished in those respective heat races. So the driver that finished in, the highest finishers that didn't advance into their heat, that didn't advance in the main feature in the heat race, the highest finisher that did not advance, for example, from the heat race into the main feature, they'll start on the pole for the first LCQ. The highest finisher that didn't advance from heat 1 starts on the pole for the first LCQ. And then the highest finisher from heat number 2 is going to be starting on the pole in the second LCQ race. I'll explain more a little later. It's a little complicated, but I'll explain more. Anyway, Richard Morphy's in heat number 2. So next up, it's Mitch Barrier in the number 2 car, and he will be in heat race number 2 as well. Yeah, I'm dead serious. This is from random.org. Completely random numbers, but sometimes the same number can appear more than once. So Mitch Barrier will be alongside Richard Morphy in heat race number 2. Colin Cropley is up next in the number 3. He's going to the first heat race, so he'll be in heat race number 3. Just give me 1 second as I'm going to be typing up the names manually. And now we move on to Zachary Fitzwater in the number 4 car. And car number 4 is going to be in heat race number 4. So Zachary Fitzwater is going to be running in the 4th and final heat race. Avi Sachs in the 5 car in the first heat race alongside Colin Cropley. So Sachs will be in the first heat race. James Richardson in the 6 car. He's also in the first heat race. So already 3 names in the first heat race. Okay. 7 car is Alexander Rowe. Where is he going to be at? He's going to be in the second heat race. I'm surprised nobody has gone to the third heat race yet. But Alexander Rowe is going to be in the second heat race. Logan Nieto, number 8. He's in the first heat race. Wow, a lot of people in the first heat race. I swear it is randomized between 1 and 4. 1 and 4, and somehow 3 is not showing up for whatever reason. So 4 drivers already in the first heat race. Logan Nieto will be with the other 3. Number 9, Nathan Orman, is also in the first heat race. Wow, a lot of 1s here today. My goodness. Going to have a lot of single-digit numbers in the first heat race. Ormond is going to be in the first heat race. Number 10 is JP Lataro, where is he going to go in number 1 again? Wow, it's like 4 times in a row that number 1 has been called. I swear this is supposed to be randomized. It's the random.org generator I've been using for a while to randomize where they go in these type of heat races. So, yeah, 6 drivers already in heat race number 1. The maximum, I believe, is 9, if I'm not mistaken. And it is going to be 9 Yeah, it's going to be 9 for each heat race. So they're running out of room in the first heat race. 11 is Samet Ozcon. Where does he go? He's going to go alongside Zachary Fitzwater in the 4th heat race. Cool. 2 legends competing in the 4th heat race at the Clash. That'll be fun. Number 12 is Chris Leone. He's going to number 4 as well. He's joining Samet Ozcon and Zachary Fitzwater. Cool. Rafael Maka. Rafael Maka. I hope I pronounced your name right. Rafael Maka is in the 14 car. One of the rookies this season. He's in the 1st heat race. Wow. Okay. The rookie Rafael Maka is going to be in the 1st heat race, and there's 7 already in the 1st heat, and 2 more spots left in that 1st heat. Billy Bishop, number 15, he's going to be the first to go to heat race number 3. Wow, 3 is called for the first time today. Wow, Bishop's in the 3rd heat race. 16, Cassidy Reynolds, he's going to the 4th heat race. A stacked field it looks like it's going to be for the 4th heat race. Reynolds in the 16. Next driver is Isaac Perdomo, one of the rookies in the series. Another new rookie, another new face in the series. And guess what? He's going to the 1st heat race. So it's going to be 8 drivers in the 1st heat. So that means there's only 1 more spot for the 1st heat race. If I'm not mistaken, that's 1 more spot left in the 1st heat race. Perdomo has the 8th spot in the 1st heat race. So next is Aiden Bigelow. Is he going to be in heat race 1 or is he going to be in another heat? He's going to be in heat race 1. My goodness. So that's our last spot. Aiden Bigelow is going to be the 9th and final driver in the 1st heat. So we have our 9 drivers competing in the 1st heat race. So here we go. Heat 1 is already full. So now we're going to Hayden Stringer, the defending champion, and he's going to be in the 4th heat race. Defending champion is Hayden Stringer, and he will be in heat race 4. Yeah, the 4th heat race will definitely be stacked. No doubt about it. Maxwell Smart, his teammate. Will he join him? Yes, he will. How about that? 4th heat race. Maxwell Smart is in the 4th heat race. Wow, 6 drivers, 6 are in the 4th heat race. Robert Smith, where is he going to go? He's only the 2nd driver in the 3rd heat race. So Robert Smith is going to be in heat race 3 with Billy Bishop. Matt Hunter, another rookie in the series. He's in the 2nd heat race. So heat race 2 for Matt Hunter. One of the rookies, a new face in the season 45. Connor Breton, former champion, will be in heat race number 3. Connor Breton with a new number, 23. He's running with the 2311 racing team, going for another championship. Connor Breton, 23, is in heat race 3. 24, Carlston Stitzel. Stitzel's in the 4th heat race. 7th driver to lock himself in to the 4th heat race. Austin Stitzel is in heat race number 4. And 7 drivers already in the 4th heat race. Draven Sand, 31, will be also in the 4th heat race. So I think they have 1 more spot left for the 4th heat race. Now let me just count for a second. 8 spots in heat 4, 1 more spot left in heat 4. Quentin Moore's up next, and he's going to the 3rd heat race. Quentin Moore. So let's put down his name. Quentin Moore is the 4th driver in heat race number 3. Matt Gomes is going to be the 4th and final one in heat race number 4. So he takes the final spot in the heat race. So it's going to be... sorry, I accidentally pressed something there. But Gomes is going to be in the 4th heat race. He's the last driver in that 4th heat race. So the rest are going to be either in 2 or 3. So let's go with Matthew Busch, 41. Heat race 3. I'm going to go a little quick here because I know it's running a little long. Matthew Busch will be in the 3rd heat race. Garrett Albertson, number 42, is also in the third heat race. Give me about 1 second. There you go. Albertson. And then we have Claire Richardson. Where is Claire going to go? Claire's going to number 2. Heat race number 2 for Claire Richardson. There you go. Claire Richardson is in the second heat race. And where's James Richardson? He's in the first heat race. Yeah, I just wanted to make that a little clearer. 45 is Quinn Porter. Either the second or third heat race he'll be in. He'll be in the third heat race. Quinn Porter is going to be in heat race number 3 along with his teammate, I believe, Connor Breton. So there's going to be 7 spots in heat 3, 2 more spots left in heat number 3. Casey Hoyt. Where's Hoyt going? Hoyt's going to heat 2. 47 of Casey Hoyt is going to heat number 2, and that's going to be 6 drivers already in heat number 2. Allison Rain, where is she going to be? She is going to be in heat number 3. So Rain is going to be in heat 3. She will be the 8th driver in the third heat. Yeah, 8 drivers. That means 1 more spot left in heat number 3. Let's see if Nilson Herrera will take that last spot, or will he be in heat number 2? He's going to be in heat number 2. So Nilson Herrera, another rookie in the series, will be running in heat number 2. 7 spots now. Sorry about that. On 7 spots now in heat number 2. 3 spots left. 3 drivers left now. Ronald Maravilla is up next. Let's see if he will take the final spot in heat 3 or will be put to heat 2. And he's going to heat number 3. Maravilla is going to heat number 3, and he's the last driver in heat number 3. And that means, by default, the last 2 drivers in this list will be going to heat number 2. Just making sure I spelled his name right. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, the last 2 drivers are going to be in heat number 2, since heat number 3 already have their 9 drivers. So the 78 of Isaiah Bernesh, or Bernici as some pronounce it. I don't know. I just pronounce it Bernesh. I hope that's right. Or Bernici, because, yeah, I heard some of them pronounce Bernici. Bernesh, I usually pronounce it too, but I'm going to stick Bernesh for now, unless if he decides to change it. And finally, the last spot is the 99, George Rourke. Rourke is going to be running in heat number 2. So making sure that 9 are in each race, and sure enough, they're in each race. So there you have it. Those are the setups for the heat races for the Clash. Colin Cropley, Avi Sachs, James Richardson, Logan Nieto, Nathan Ormond, J.P. Lataro, Rafael Meka, Isaac Perdomo, and Aiden Bigelow will be competing in heat number 1. Heat number 2 will have Richard Morphy, Mitch Barrier, Alexander Rowe, Matt Hunter, Claire Richardson, Casey Hoyt, Nilson Herrera, Isaiah Bernesh, and George Rourke. Heat 3 will have Billy Bishop, Robert Smith, Connor Breton, Quentin Moore, Matthew Buss, Garrett Albertson, Quinn Porter, Allison Rain, and Roland Maravilla. And heat number 4, Zachary Fitzwater, Samet Ozcon, Chris Leone, Cassie Reynolds, Hayden Stringer, Maxwell Smart, Austin Stitzel, Draven Sand, and Matt Gomes. So those are your 4 heat race field. And then again, top 5 drivers from each heat will advance to the main feature. The rest will go to the LC, to last chance races. Top 3 from each of the 2 last chance races will advance, and 1 more spot will be reserved for the driver highest in points from last season that didn't make it through qualifying through heat races or last chance races. So that's how we're going to set up the field for the Clash at Riverhead Raceway. That's how we're going to set the lineup for Riverhead Raceway. So anyway, hope you guys tune in next weekend. Tune in soon, as we're going to have the Clash started eventually. Anyway, this is Pichu, and I'll see you guys later.